Hello, welcome. Happy Sunday night. Welcome to Doing It with the Wit. Wow, we have some people waiting. 13 people, 10 on the YouTubes, 3 on the Twitches so far. And Joe Velasco, you're always early. Appreciate it. And welcome. Joe Velasco, Brendan Wilson, 3D printer newbie, Milan. Hello. And that's it so far. That's everybody that has checked in. We have a show tonight. We have, get out of the spotlight. You get out of the spotlight. We have a finished, well, pretty much finished Voron 0.1 here. Yeah, it was, it's been a fun build. So we've been building it on and off over the last several weeks on the Sunday streams and during the week on Twitch. 3D Vince Medic. Hello, 3D Medic Vince. The apprentice is here. Hello, guys. So yeah, we're gonna hopefully, that's not really Woods back here. Hopefully we're going to put out a first print tonight, pretty shortly here. I just have one other little tweak to do on it, and that is we've PID tuned the bed, we've PID tuned the hot end, we've leveled the bed. The bed leveling is really simple. It's a 3-screw leveling system on this. From what I read, I don't even have to do a mesh level because I think on a bed this big, you shouldn't have to do a mesh level, but we'll see what happens. And the only thing left to do prior to actually printing something is I'm going to do a E-step calibration. And then I just had some, little piece of leftover Chinese food from dinner. Okay, there we go. You wish you had, you like the hat. It's my new hat. It's an embroidered hat. Do it 3D. The text that says think it, make it didn't come out the best because it's kind of small, but I like the hat. It doesn't go really well with this shirt, but I like the hat. The hats may be available. I did get more than one, but they're very extremely limited edition right now, but we will see. Maybe we'll do a giveaway, something. We'll see. But we have a hat. We have a hat. Oh, and we have coasters. Actually, that's terrible looking. That makes it look terrible. That's more the color down there. It's the sunlight coming in from the window that's making it look like a washed out orange, but believe me, it's a bright red. So we have coasters. We have some stuff that we're taking for potential giveaways at the upcoming Maker Faire. Hey, Andreas Genkausis. I probably butchered that, but hey, you're here. Welcome. Thank you. Makes me look 10 years younger. What, the hat? Oh, well, yeah, because, under there, do I have any hair? So it makes me look 50? Thank you. I appreciate that. You shot the shirt on Twitter and looked good as well. Yeah, the shirt. The problem with the shirt, though, I don't know where I put them. They're here somewhere. The crest on the shirt was way too big. I've got a couple coming in with a much smaller, more reasonable size crest on the shirt. So we'll see how that happens. Hey, Kieran Clark and Will. Hello. Good night from Montreal, Will. So yes, so we have where is my other, this camera. Let me so we have this build finished here. I have this actually zoomed way in here for some reason, but if we zoom out here a little bit, maybe a little bit more here. There we go. There we go. If we focus, there it is there. What is that line down the middle? Oh, it's a reflection from the screen because if I open the door, there's no reflection. So yeah, so there we have the finished minus the hat. The Voron 0.1, all prettied up and finished. The one thing I haven't done, I can lighten that up a little bit here, there, because that's the top hat is not fixed. In the top hat, I'm supposed to go in and put screws in here and in here and in the back. I have left this so that I can actually take it off if I choose. I may look down the road at putting the hinge mod on it, but also if I'm running PLA, I don't necessarily want to trap all the heat in running PLA. So we've left that to the ability to remove that. So yeah, so there we're at. Hey, 3D Printing Joey, how are you? So anyways, listen, what should I run first? PLA PETG, ABS? What do you think? A PLA to get it going? Nero does not bolt the top either. No, I don't. I'd like to have access to it, and then especially because the ones in the back here would be really difficult to get to if I want to take it apart and do whatever. You know, they thought of everything with this LDO kit. So on the back here, I wondered what that other plastic piece was for. Well, the back is a 2-piece. We have one piece covering the bottom, and then actually there's a piece covering the top. So if I want to adjust the tensioners, the belt tensioners, all I got to do is take this piece off, and I have access to the belt tensioners. So that was a pretty well thought thing. Now, the other thing I don't like, and I'm going to be honest about it, everything about this, is that on the back panel, I used VHB tape to hold these parts on, like they said, okay? The parts aren't sticking to the VHB tape too well. I'm going to change that. On the rest of the panels, all the other panels, I did not use tape. So all these panels are just being pressure held on by the pieces that hold the panel on. Are we focused there? There we are. So yeah, I didn't use tape on the side panels. So there, and I didn't use tape over here. And of course, it's all being held on by pressure, so that if I want to take it off, all the pieces come right off, which is fine. I don't care if the pieces stick to the door or not. Plus, this allows me, when I'm putting them together, to move these and center them and make them look even, etc. And of course, I did use tape on the door because you have to, because there's no screws to hold these on. But that's the only place I use tape. And then on the magnets, I've super glued the magnets right here. I'll move this over a bit. So the magnets are super glued between the plate and the handle. And then I ended up, if you were on my stream yesterday at all, there's little receptors here that magnets click into. Nowhere in the instructions did they tell me to put 4 nuts in there to screw these on. So these are just being held on by VHB tape. And they're very strong and they're working fine. So there we go. So that's that. The magnetic cap. Yes, I did, Karen. We just went over that. Yeah, as I say, the VHB tape, it's not going anywhere. And it's working just perfectly, beautifully. You would use magnets to hold the top on. That way you could remove when needed. Yeah, I could do that. Right now, it's held on pretty, I can lift pretty hard on that before it'll actually come off. So I may resort to that after, because I'm sure after I take this on and off a few times, it'll loosen up. So this will be the first time I'm printing the Voron 3D printing, Joey. Yes, for sure. Print nylon, Chris. I don't have any nylon. And hello, Chris Travis. I don't have any nylon. I'm going to say fortunately or unfortunately, I don't have any nylon on hand. So, but I think, as Joe Velasco says, PLA for the win. I think I want to do a PLA for my first print to make it relatively easy and simple. So we are turned on. We just need to add some LED bling. Yeah. Thanks so much, Karen. Yeah, I'm happy with the colors. I had no choice. I had a limited choice of colors, so I did go with the olive green, which is almost like an army green, and it blends in well with the black. I reprinted a few colors to match in order to, I don't know if my steppers are locked or not. I reprinted a few parts just so I could have some different colors things. I reprinted these skirts at the bottom here. Whoops. I reprinted the skirts at the bottom so they'd be black instead of green, so they'd contrast with the feet and yada, yada, yada. And we're good. But yeah, I wouldn't mind throwing some LEDs in on the side. I do have there's 2 nuts in on each side that are meant to hold the top hat on that I could use to mount LED strips, actually. So now that those nuts are there and I'm not using them on the top hat, so it would be a nice touch. So, hey, Printer Prawn. So let's go ahead and warm this up. Let's see, where is my, oh, is it on? No, it's not. Why is my StreamYard on a separate window than the rest of my things? Give me 1 second here. Let me move that over here. Let me open up this. That's what I want. And then I'm going to drag, I'll keep StreamYard up over here, and I'll just look up over here for the comments, and I will keep there we go. We'll keep our mainsail window open here. So if we go over to the mainsail here, boom, So we're pretty well all set up. I think there are still a few things in my printer config file I may have to tweak. I'm sure there are. For instance, I haven't confirmed yet whether my extruder motor is going in the right direction. So we will find that out rather quickly here. So let's warm it up since we're going to do, I think I'll throw some, so it's easy to see, I'll throw on some yellow, or no, will I? I'll figure out what I'm going to throw on, but we're going to heat up the bed to 220 and we'll heat up the, 220 and we'll heat up the nozzle to 220 and the bed to 60. Hey, bag of chips, how are you? Yeah, thanks, Zenbender. I'm kind of happy. My first time building a Voron, and apparently I picked one of the hardest ones to build at first, which is a 0. So quite happy with it. I'm kind of happy the way it went together, considering I had to take things apart several times and to do them. Like the back panels, I swear the back panels went on and off 6 times for various reasons. Well, one of the other things, let me go back to this camera. One of the other things that I learned the hard way, or if you want to call it the hard way, is that the cable loom that goes around the back, I didn't allow for the top hat going on, so it was way too tall. So it was rubbing and it was causing issues. And so I had to take the back panel off and lower the cable loom. Well, I did it with the head parked in the home position like this. And then when the head moves over, the cable loom was being hit onto the back panels and stuff. So I had to remove the back panels, lower it a bit more. I did that 3 times before I got the cable loom, so it wasn't being hindered. So yeah, so we have not loaded filament on this baby yet. I'm going to move this screen back over here because it's much easier for me to look at this screen over here than it is up over here. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit more here for you guys. Sorry about the focus. There we go. This is just not an automatic focus camera, so I have to focus as I do that. So let me go grab a roll of filament. Let's do something fancy. I got so much to choose from, but we have a dark colored bed. Well, it's a bronze colored bed. Let's see. It's a bronzy, brassy colored bed. So if I do a nice, let's try, well, let's use some of this filament. Let's use some Ad North. Let's throw Ad North Glitz Gray. Ad North EPLA Glitz Gray on it and see. I think that's going to be a good one. This filament looks like it's all kind of messed up a little, entangled. Like it's been unspooled, I think. Let me make sure that I am tangled here. How did that happen? Here we go. That should be good. Okay. So hopefully all goes well here. So let's see. We have our spool holder mounted on the back right here. Okay, nice location for the spool holder. If you don't like the motion control layout, click the 2 gears on top of mainsail. That opens under control section. You can change the style to cross. Oh, interesting. I'll have a look at that and see if I prefer that. Okay. So we'll get us a clean end here. And let's feed it into the Bowden tube that comes down here. That's the other issue I had, is I was getting some kinks in this Bowden tube. And it's not a Bowden system. This is just to feed it up to the direct drive hot end. So, but I think it's going in there nice and smooth now. There it is. So we hit the extruder. Now let's go into, I'm going to have a look at that right now, Zenbender, and see. So let me switch to this screen so you guys can see. So to cross. So let's look at this. Let's go back into here. So you're saying click the gears up here, and under console, entry design, no. Let me see what you said there. Let me go back to the click the 2 gears interface window that opens an under control section. Okay, so let's have a look. Under control, bars cross. Oh, okay, I see. That's different. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Okay. Well, let's try the load filament. We are up to temperature. We're at 220. Let's try the load filament, see if this is going the right way. So if I click load filament, oh, maybe I need to. Hang on. I can hear the motor going. So let's go back to this camera here. Let me switch to my other window so we can see. So I'm not moving anything yet, but this is where it's handy to be able to just pop the top hat off. So I can look at the extruder and see what's going on here. So maybe I need to open that to get the filament pushed in a little bit further. Okay, and the other option, the other possibility is that, let's see if let me feed filament, see what happens. Okay. See, the things I should have done prior to streaming. Oh, my filament. What's going on here? Let's just see what's going on here. Let's just see what's going on here. Okay, this little, my little PTFE tube popped out here. So get back in there. There we go. We all get to experience the issues with loading the filament on this for the first time together. I could have done this off stream and, you know, made sure it worked, but what fun is that? You've souped on an Ender 3 V2 to it's about the end of its road for upgrades. Wow, no kidding, right? Now, are you not? Oh, that seemed to click in a little better. Let's see if I click load filament now. Is my motor maybe going the wrong way? That's one thing I've got to check. Gotta love the issues we have going live. So, okay, now let's see if I unload filament. Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go. So, unloading filament pulled it in. So that tells me that my, oh, sure. And my other screen is frozen. Am I frozen or is it just the, no, there we are. Okay. So, oh man, I got too many windows open here. Bear with me for 1 second. I have to do something here. I have to pull this one out of there and put you in here. There we are. That's better. So it's telling me that, hey, Jason. So the fact when I hit unload, it loads. It's telling me I need to reverse the direction of my motor. So from what I understand, I need to go in here to my machine and to my printer config, down to my extruder, right here. And it says if moving opposite direction, add a exclamation point right there. So we add that. which tells it to reverse the direction of the motor. We save and restart, and I'm going to have to heat that up again. There we are, and then we'll get back up to 220 and 60 on the bed, and we'll try that again. Oops, still sharing that screen. There we go. So yeah, so let's see what happens now. I've just popped the spool off temporarily. There we go. And we'll see what happens now. I'm not sure if I like where I've got this spool holder. Anyways, we'll worry about that after, because it seems to keep continuously want to unravel here. So hang on a sec. There we go. That looks better. I have a feeling I'm going to definitely change, yeah, something up on this. This is rather annoying. Maybe I just have it in the wrong spot, but I thought that's where the instructions said to do it. Yep, exclamation point in front of the pin direction. Okay, let's see now. If I tell it to load now, there we go. Now we're pulling. But I should have, there we go. We got filament coming out. So let's go ahead and move this. There we go. Okay, cool. So this is crazy. I don't like the fact that I can't see my StreamYard window at the same time. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in here. Oh, and we're going to try and focus. There we go. Oh, you know what I realized I didn't do as well? Free prize to somebody who points it out. That's okay though. I'm gonna home everything for now. Let's just home everything so I can move my axes independently. There we go. Okay, now I want to lower my Z. Don't know if I like this. Z. Oh, there we go. I don't know if I like this layout. I kind of like the other layout, but so if I want to move my Z, do I like this layout? No. Don't know if I like that. Oh, I see. Oh, there we go. Okay. Why does my bed seem to be moving in the wrong direction? Is that just me, or is it my bed moving in the wrong direction? Okay, you professionals out there. In here, when I move my bed, okay, if I go up, the bed goes down. Well, I think that's right. Yeah, it is right. Because it's kind of, because it is right. Okay, because it's actually taking sort of a lesson from a Cartesian printer, I think. Anyways, I think we're fine. Sticky. Did you do a nice job at Kate? Oh, thanks so much. I don't know if I need to reverse the Z-axis. Move this spool holder up about 9 centimeters so it clears the input to the filament path. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. I think we're doing okay. So what I was going to do here is just extrude some filament just to make sure it's feeding properly. So if we have the filament and we're going to extrude, and I think you guys have the close-up there. So there we go. Why aren't you extruding? You're at temperature. Feed rate. 15, extrude. Okay, what did I, maybe I have to home it again? I don't know. Why won't you extrude? Hold temperature lower. Hot end temperature is not lower. It's 220 degrees. Okay, so it's telling me that when I go to extrude, the hot end temperature is too low, and it's not. So what I'm seeing here is, if you look, it's not letting me extrude. It's telling me the hot end temperature is lower than 170, but if we look up here, we are at 220 degrees on the hot end. Okay, well, I'm not going to cry over spilt whatever. So something is not clicking. Let me try homing again. Homing seems to fix everything. Okay. You're still not going to let me extrude because you still think the temperature is lower than 170. Well, you don't know squat. How am I supposed to do an E-step calibration if you won't let me extrude filament? Thermistor is not placed. Thermistor is not placed. I'm not quite sure what that means. So it's saying that this is not recognizing, this part of Clipper is not recognizing the thermistor or recognizing the fact that it's heating up. Thermistor is good because I did a PID tune on the hot end and thermistor is reading 220 and there's my target. So my thermistors are working, my thermistor is working fine. It's 30, 40%. Basically, there's a PID tuning in process to keep this thing at a nice level 220. No, I doubt it's loose. Shouldn't be, but I can always check everything like that. Now, the other thing I didn't put on is I got to put the sock on the hot end. So let me lower my Z. Lower it by 50. Here we go. Let's just get it right out of the way. There we go. Let me find my... I'll just double check the tightness of the thermistor, but everything should be nice and snug in there. Let me grab my little friend. Try to refresh the web page. Really? Okay. Maybe that's all I got to do. Let's refresh the web page. Refresh. Boom, boom. Look at you guys. Look at that. Okay. Now if we extrude. There it goes. Look at that. Boy, that was fast. I should slow that rate down a little bit. There we go. There you go. Refresh the web page. It's a thing. Yep, it's a thing. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, so there we go. So we are extruding no problem. Where did I put the sock? There's the sock right here. Who wants to see me burn myself? Putting the sock on. Okay, ready? Oops. It helps if I do this. If you really want to see me burn myself, it's better to have the camera on the actual nozzle so you can see. But I don't intend to burn myself. There we go. Let's see how quickly the sock heats up. 5, 4, 3. That's hot. Yeah, that's hot. Okay, sock works. Okay, let's go ahead and do an E-step calibration here. Okay, so I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to zoom out so you guys can see. Not that you all know how to do an E-step calibration, but what the heck. Let's do that. There we go. I need to turn a different light on here too, so it's a little brighter in there. There we go. That's a little better. Okay, now I need to find my little tool. Where did I put my E-step calibration tool? The one I'm so proud that I made, and yet I can never find when I want it. So what I'm going to do is take this off. I'm going to measure. Basically, I'm going to measure from my input here, 100 millimeters. And I have a little tool somewhere. Run a PID auto tune again with the sock on. Good point. Good point. But I want to find my little tool first. Hang on one sec. Where did I put it? I am forever losing that little tool. I should print myself a few more. It's annoying, you know. I'm actually surprised this camera's going to tip a bit. far as Kieran's not piping up because I lost my little tool. Where did it go? Doesn't matter. I can do it without. It's just so much easier, and I made it for that purpose. And that's part of stream preparedness. When I know I'm going to do an E-step calibration, have your tool ready. Okay, so we do it toolless. But for now, I kind of agree with set the layer fan to 25% for PID. Yeah, and I agree with Will and Jason to do a PID now that I've adjusted the hot end. So let's home everything here so we can get the... Why are you not going to do that? Oh, my bed is down too low. Okay, so we're going to just have to... my bed is too low because what happened when it homes, it lowers the bed a little bit and then raises it. And I've got my bed too low. And so it really can't go anywhere. So I have to restart that's my bad. That's my bad. I lowered it too much manually. So this is fun. Okay, so let's restart. Let's refresh the screen. Let's restart Faire. But I have to let the printer turn itself on again. There we go. Okay. Now why? There you go. I just had to give it a little boost to home it because I went too low. That was my bad. Man, it's too bright in here almost now. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to move... man, I'm not... We'll move U50 and we'll move UN50. There we go. And we'll PID tune. Okay. And I just have to quickly find the PID tune command. It's been a while, and I haven't really... there we go. PID calibrate heater extruder. So we'll copy that. And we will come on in here and we will send the code, paste it, and we will... And then you said fan at 25%, 25%, and send. There we go. So you see on here, we are PID calibrate heater extruder. Now, Voron says to use target 245, which I did. I run my filaments depending, PLA 210 to 220, PETG 240 to 250, and ABS 250 to 260, 270, depending on the material. So we'll see what happens. But you can see right now we are doing the PID calibrate on the hot end with the sock on, with a 25% fan, like y'all said. Math is easy, Marlin is boring. Rotation distance calibration. Well, apparently in here it is a rotation distance or something that I have to set for the E-step calibration. So the math I think is easy. I have a spreadsheet for doing E-step calibration. You just plug in the numbers and it gives you your new E-step reading. I don't know if it's the same, if that same philosophy will work on this one, but it should. It should be pretty much the same thing. Hey, Jerry. Yes, smash the like button. We're going to get to a first print here. We've gone hatless because we're going to run PLA. So it's all done. The hat is made, and I don't intend to fix this hat on permanently because I think this is going to come on and off once in a while. So I know there's a hinged version, but I didn't do the hinged version. So, but boy, they put the belts awful close to the covers. I mean, there's no room to spare as far as the belts being close to the covers are. It's incredible. I wouldn't be surprised to see little belt marks on the covers. They're so close. So, but right now we're just PID tuning. the hot end because I put the sock on. I just remembered earlier, just before the stream today, that I didn't put the sock on the hot end. So let's see if I can get that a little more light in there. There we go, just a tad more light on the printer, on the Feastal is this, I'll print out. So, everybody having a great Sunday? You would never do that, DeWitt. You have a little tool you keep losing all the time, too. I got to find that tool while this thing is PID tuning. Where the heck? You know, and you guys have all seen this tool. It's the one I designed and printed. It makes marking your filament super easy. But you think I can remember where I put it? No. I have one at the office. I have a white one and a black one. And it is like, yeah, you would think I'd put it somewhere that I would remember. Although I did put it somewhere I'd remember it because I've lost it before. So, and I think it's got one more round of up and down temperature to PID tune. I think it takes about 4 minutes to get the bed takes a lot longer. So, but I've already done the bed. Sunday goes lovely. Virtual fishing, watching a great stream. Well, thank you so much, Revo91, and welcome. And remember, guys, hit that like button and subscribe. If you're not subscribed to me, subscribes are free on YouTube, and follow me on Twitch if you're not following me on Twitch already. Let's see, how many Twitchers do we have on this evening? 6 Twitchers and 26 tubers. Very cool. How's my comfort level with Clipper now? My comfort level, Dougal, is really good. I'm comfortable looking into the print config file. Once it's up and running, I'm quite comfortable with it, and I like it. It's getting it up and running that kind of confuses me sometimes. But I think the more I do it, the easier it'll get. Okay, so I'm going to save config. We're done. So the PID parameters are in there. So I'm going to come in here now and go save config. I'm going to restart my Clipper, and we're all PID tuned up. There we go. Let me heat up the hot end again because we're going to 220, and we'll keep the bed warm at 60, and then we're going to do an E-step calibration now. So I've gone with not this one. What I've done is I've followed these instructions as far as the startup. So we've gone to the slicer setup. I'm using Super Slicer, so it had a V0 profile in there. Oops. Back one page right there. Extruder calibration is what I'm doing right now. So, and it talks about rotation distance as far as where I have to I'll go and make that setting once I've measured. So I'm going to. I wish I could find my little tool, but I can't. So I'm going to attempt to use my tape measure, which is I can find my tape measure no problem. And my little handy dandy, I think a red marker will suffice for this. Hey, Scott Linky, how are you? Start packing your stuff. We'll be moving soon from Montreal to Calgary. You're coming to Calgary, Will. Wow. Well, we'll have to meet you when you get to Calgary. Awesome. So let's go ahead and. It's awkward. It's the only other measuring device I have for 100 millimeters. Actually, unless my handy dandy caliper can come to 100, it can. Okay, let's see if I can get my caliper. This might be a little easier for me. This one sucks. I'm going to use my brand new Clockwise. Anybody ever heard of Clockwise tools? This is one fancy caliper for a really inexpensive price, and it's got old man eyes screen on it. Look at the large type. Let me loosen. Look at the large type on that screen. You can't miss it. And it's the only caliper I've gotten that comes with a certificate of calibration. They've basically sent a certificate of calibration. The technician who calibrated it. And all the calibration readings. Pretty cool. So let's do this one. This one would be easier to get to 100. 99, 90, 99, 90, 100.06 and 100. We're not going to be fussy over 0.01. Okay, so on Amazon.com, I'll share a link after. Big, massive, bold numbers. Certificate of calibration. Company called Clockwise. Beautiful, and it's actually got a USB port. You can actually plug it in an app on your phone and upload the readings as you take them. It's pretty cool. So we're going to just mark 100 millimeters here. Okay, then we're going to mark 120. And 120.0. There we go, 120 on the nose right there. Okay. We'll mark it at 120. There we go. Okay, so we've marked our filament. Now in Clipper, from what I understand, which is true, it's not what I understand. If we look here, it'll only let us do 50 at a time. So we have to feed 50 millimeters at a time twice, 50 millimeters twice. Okay, so actually I want to lower my bed. Well, I got to home all. You have to home it before you can actually move the individual axis. I don't know if I like that, but hey, whatever. Okay, there we go. So let's bring that out. Let's bring that out and let's lower the bed. There we go. Okay, so I can come back here now. So I'm going to hit 50. We're going to extrude 50. Here we go. And we'll do that twice. So we have plastic coming out. There we go. Clockwise tools. And yeah, and it's the model is, you might have it right there, Printer Prawn. This model is DCLR 0605. Look at that. Exact one. If you look that up on Amazon.com, you'll see them. Beautiful calipers. I mean, they'll replace everything. The only reason I have these ones, where did I put the other one? And it was right here. I use this one, and it was dirt cheap because it's carbon fiber. When you're measuring magnets, it's much easier to use a carbon fiber than it is a steel caliper. Okay, there's 50, and we're going to hit 50 again. Here we go. And we'll see where we're at. Look, we got a first 3D print off this right there. I call it the Tower of whatever. Oh, this is going to be close. No, we're over extruding. There we. Oh, wow. Not by much. Wow. I'd say we are extremely close. So I'm going to measure what's left. 19.5. So we have 0.5 millimeters. So we extruded 100.5. That's almost perfect. Almost perfect. I don't even know if we have to worry about it. I want to read there because it said if you're within so-and-so distance to not even worry about it. Yeah. Once the extrusion amount is within 0.5% of the target, i.e. 99.5 to 100.5 for a target 100 millimeters extruded filament, the extruder is calibrated. So we're at 100.5. So I'm just going to leave it. I'm not even going to bother changing the number in it. But had I wanted to change the number, just for those of you who've never seen Clipper, most of you have, but I'm new to this. I would have gone into my printer config to my extruder, and then the number would have been right here. It's rotation distance, 22.23 it's set at right now. And then we'll leave it there, but that's the number that would have changed based on the formula that I would have done based on how much extruded versus what I asked for versus what this existing number is. So that's what we would have done. So, okay, well, I think we're ready to go ahead and try and print something. And of course, the first thing I have to print, at first I thought it was going to be decrease flow a couple of % if needed. Yeah, exactly. Yep. The first thing I was going to print was a DeWitt cube, but I thought, no, I can't. I got to print the Voron cube. So I went ahead, downloaded the Voron cube. Here's Super Slicer. Okay. Super Slicer had a profile already for the Voron 0. So I downloaded the Voron cube. Here we go. And I'm just going to use standard settings. So I'm going to do 3 perimeters, 3 solid. I'll go 4 and 4 for the solid top and bottom layers. Doesn't matter. We will 0.2 millimeter layer height. We're going to do 18% rectilinear infill. I could bump that to 20. 18% should be good. I don't know if there's any standards for these cubes, but this is sort of what I do for my other one I did. Skirt and brim, 2 loops for my skirt, 2 10 millimeters. I always do a little wider skirt just so I can see that the filament's flowing fine. We don't need any support material. The speed defaulted to 100 millimeters a second for the V0 profile. We could bump that, I suppose, as we're printing and see how it goes. And I'm just going to leave everything else at the defaults for now. So, and this should be a very quick print. So if I slice it, we are looking at 50 minutes in normal mode. So it's not too bad. 50 minutes. My DeWitt cube was a little quicker, but then this cube is a little more complicated. It's got some overhangs in it. It's got some bridging in it, et cetera, et cetera. So let's just see how that works for the first print. So I can go directly to, so what I've done in here is under the printer settings, under the little gear here, I've set it to Clipper. I've put the IP address for my printer. I did a test and it connects properly. For some reason, this does not work on my rat rig. Even though it says it tests properly, it won't send it to it, but that's a whole other story. Okay, so we go into here and I can just hit this G and it's going to send the Voron cube to directly to the Clipper. So we'll go back into Clipper, go to G-code files, and there it is right there. There's the cube, and we're going to go start print and wish me luck. And we'll just watch this thing print now. And I will zoom right in for you guys. Let me get this cable out of the way. I'll zoom in really close. I'll raise that up a little bit. There we go. Let me get the snot out of there. And my bed seems pretty low, but we'll see what's happening. It's just heating up now. So I'm running 215 for this filament in the slicer. Have I done a bed screw adjust? Yes, I've adjusted the bed screws. I've leveled the bed. I've done a Z offset. I calibrated my Z offset. And we'll see what happens here. We're just about at temperature, 215, and the bed's just about to 65. I don't know why I set my bed to 65, but it's chilly down here. So here we go. Okay, and I think we're too close. There we go. Oh, we're not, doesn't look like we're focused perfectly there. There we go, that's focused. And we have ink going down, ink. We have plastic going. The bed is 120 by 120. And I'm using the textured bed, obviously, that came with it. And it came with a smooth PEI sheet as well. And it's pushing plastic. You're all witnessing it now. The sad thing is, Polymaker wanted to be the first one to have plastic go through this machine. I did send him all my information. They were going to send me some filament. It has not come yet. So I wasn't going, oh, look at how fast that thing's moving. Look at that. And so I had to choose to go without them for now. But if it does come, I will be printing Polymaker filament at the Maker Faire. So there we go. Yeah, that's a nice contrasting color so y'all can see it printing there. Thanks so much, Scott. Now, question to you, Voron folks. Apparently, once I get this built and printing, I apply for a serial number or something. Whoops. I better hang the filament on the back if I want filament to come out. There we go. I don't like the way that's hanging. I'm going to have to definitely move that filament holder up. And the fans kick in. There we go. So do I apply now, or do I have to prove to them that it's built and printing, or just show them this video? I don't know how that works, but I'll go on and look, I suppose. Look at this. All systems are go. Wow. This was a fun build. This was really, really fun. Can I get you guys a little closer? Let's see. No, can't get much closer than that. Unless I move the camera closer, but I think you get a good view here. There we go. A minute of the video. Okay. Cool. Yeah, and I had to make it a Voron cube for the first print because. There we go. Post on Reddit with link to video of it printing. Can even link to this one. Include Discord name. And also post has to have the flare of serial request. Okay, I don't, my Discord name. Okay, yeah, I do have a Discord name. I do have to tweak this filament holder a little bit. I can't raise the filament holder anymore on the back here because of the back plate mount thingamadoober is on it. So, and for those of you that came on late before I mention it, on all the plates except the front, on the front plate, I had to obviously tape the attachments on the front plate because there's no screw holes. But on all my other plates except the back one, I'm going to take them off eventually because the two-sided tape's not sticking too well to the pieces. But on the side panels, I didn't use tape at all. I just used the little panel pieces to hold, and they're all holding the panel in. And if I have to take a panel off, all the pieces are loose, which is fine. But I decided not to use the tape to hold the panels on. So, well, it's printing nice and fast. Now we can put my KP3S in your V0 in a boat race. Oh, cool. This is so cool. I'm kind of very excited about this. So, feels accomplished. It's a nice feeling when it's up and printing. But I've got to I got to do more reading, and I want to convert a couple printers to Clipper so I can get used to setting up Clipper. Because that seemed to be, for me, that's the hardest part of this whole build. The hardest part was getting the firmware in and getting the Raspberry Pi set up and all that, using putty, using, I think it's just because I haven't done it enough, right? And I think everybody's obviously started there at one point, but then, Jason helped me out a lot. But then Jason's done this a lot, so he's well versed in it. So I think it's just a matter of the more you do something, the better you get at it. If you look at the FAQ channel on the Voron Discord, there's a post that answers about the serial request. Okay, perfect. Thanks, Zenbender. And Senza, you used a hot glue gun on some of your panel clips, but there is a panel clip mod that clips and unclip. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's cool. Well, the LDO folks have done a really good job of thinking of it. The back panel's in two pieces. I noticed on the Voron instructions it was a one-piece back panel, but LDO has made it so the back panel is two pieces, so you can take a small top panel off to access your leveling, your belt tension knobs. But then again, I'm leaving my hat so that it'll come on and off easy, so I can adjust the knobs with no problem anyways. So, because I know there's a period of stretching in for these belts, and we have to snug them up a little bit after a little bit. So far the cube is looking decent. The mod is for 2020 extrusions. Okay. These are a little smaller than 2020. Yeah, the only, as I say, the only, and who am I to make suggestions to them for the manual, but I could not find anywhere in the manual whatsoever to have four, where's my hands in here? Right up here. So this right here, what I'm pointing to, that's one of the magnetic clips to hold the door closed, okay? There's two of these. Each one has two of the M3 screws in it. I looked over the instructions 3 times. There was nowhere in the instructions that said to put some insert nuts into the extrusion here, which you're going to need later for these two pieces, unless that is an LDO specific design. So that's why I ended up VHB taping these in place, which works fine. I mean, they're on there good, but it would have been, the proper way would have been to have some nuts inserted into these extrusions. But I wasn't about to take the machine apart just because of that when I could get away with VHB tape for that. So thanks, Will. And then, yeah, so that was the only thing that I thought was missing from the instructions, because I was warned several times by other people who have made this to make sure you get all your nut inserts done proper or you have to take it apart. So I was double checking and triple checking, and these ones were not there. Yeah. And the only things I had to take apart a couple times was I didn't allow on the cable loom that runs off the hot end to go to the back. Actually, that's loose. I'm going to have to fix that. That's come a little bit loose on the top of the hot end right here. So if I scroll up, this has kind of come loose. I may design a different part for strapping that in, because there's not much to hold that on up there, but that's okay. Not a big deal. And come on, get back down. And yeah, so I had to play with this a little bit so it wasn't rubbing on the top hat. And let's see, what else? Oh, and the Raspberry Pi 3 that came with it seemed to be dead. I have it here. I'm going to test it and see if it is in fact dead. But when I actually found a Raspberry Pi 4 I thought was dead, and I put the Raspberry Pi 4 in and it's working fine. So we'll check that Pi 3 and see if it is in fact a dead Pi. And then apparently I have to print, there's a little kit here that's called a Steppy, which is apparently the LDO mascot, and it's a little kit. And then I download some files to print a Steppy, so that maybe that'll be the second print on this, is a LDO Steppy. So we'll see. Yeah. Cheap extrusions 2020 and 2040. I would look on AliExpress or something if I were looking for cheap ones. We have a local guy here that sells them. They're not overly expensive. Oh, this is just so cool to see this thing pulling filament, pulling plastic. I love it. I'm excited. It's my first Voron. Steppers are quiet. The fans are a little bit loud, but they're tiny, tiny, fast fans. And boy, the temperature is holding so steady. And I guess that's a result of PID tuning. Like if you look at the temperature graph right here, it is just a little blip right here. That might have been when it started, but it just holds steady, and that's a result of PID tuning, why you don't see a little ups and downs in the temperature. And it took me a while to understand what PID tuning does, but right there, that's a picture of PID tuning at its best for the bed and the hot end. So there we go. Get the right extrusions for your case. T-slot, V-wheel slot, European standard slot. Yeah, there's so many, isn't there? Oh, we have a guest. We have a special guest coming on right now. One moment. Okay. Wait, wait, Ethan, come here. You're not on camera yet. Come here, right here.
But I looked in the camera.
But look right there now.
Did that like and subscribe. Bye.
There you go. Thank you. Good night. Love you. Oh, okay. That's a Sunday ritual now. He loves to come down and do that. Hit that like button and subscribe. That's awesome. So that doesn't apply to you Twitch folks. Or you it could apply to you Twitch folks. You can subscribe. I take any subscription. So it's your Voron now. Oh, Matt. Oh well, let's do a draw, Matt. Okay, I'll tell you what, Matt. I have somebody. I don't remember who, and I feel bad. I should check the email. But somebody actually made me a maker coin, and I just did a quick test print of it. It's a 2-color. There's going to be an insert in there. Whoops. And on the sides, it's hard to see, but it says "Think It, Make It." Really nice. Matt, heads it's yours, tails it's mine. Oh, tails, Matt. I'm sorry. I tried. When is Ethan going to build a Voron? Well, I'll tell you. He is one smart kid. I just got a text message. Let's see. I think it's from my beautiful wife. Let me see. My courier has delivered my food. I know we had Chinese tonight. Okay. Oops. I'm not talking to you, Siri. Yeah, I gotta get him into 3D printing as he gets a bit older. He's still a little bit doesn't focus. He's still a little bit sort of all over the place like a 6-year-old would be, and we're gonna get him interested in this a little bit. Somebody said to me once, "Is this his 3D printer now?" And I said, "No, this is a Voron, man." Okay, you think it was rigged, Matt? We'll do 2 out of 3. Okay, heads it's mine, tails it's not yours. Tails, it's not yours. Okay, and heads, it's mine. There you go. It's not rigged, Matt. Pressure advance and input shaper. That's going to be next. Now, it's interesting that you say that. This is just making sure it's printing because I thought, well, should I be doing that right away? But again, I followed. If you look at the initial startup, so I basically followed on the Voron site. So we just did our E-step calibration. Okay, slicer setup. I'm using Super Slicer because it had a V0 profile with it. I'll probably find one in the community for Prusa Slicer. Slicer profile creation, blah, blah. Then it goes first print. And so it talks about doing the first print. So I downloaded the cube on GitHub. Oh, right here. Once you're printing with your printer fully assembled, take a quick video, upload it to the Voron subreddit, and eat well-deserved bowl of cereal. So there's how we get the serial number. Look at that. And then, so after the first print, then it talks about tuning guides. So when you go to the tuning guide, you have secondary printer tuning, and then it talks about belt tension, mesh level, which doesn't apply to this one. And then it talks about bad mesh on switch wire. Then we get input shaper and print tuning, and then we end the print tuning guide. Whoops, wrong button on the print tuning guide. Oh yeah, it is here. I've got to go here and look at the print tuning guide, etc. That's on GitHub here. So I'm just kind of going in the order that the Voron site suggests I go for tuning it. So, and we'll get into that and input shaper. I've got to order myself another accelerometer. So handy when you need fast print part made. Yeah. Not that you've ever lost a part, forget to print it. Nope, never done. I've never done it before either, Zenbender. Like I didn't forget to print parts for this build. I was scrambling at the last minute earlier this week to print some parts for the doors because I, for some reason, didn't print them. So, $3 a spoon if he's providing it. Sounds fair. Yeah, we're just getting quotes for people want us to do some engraving. We're going to start getting our lasers working and paying us some money. So we're getting requests for quotes for engraving on things now, which is good. So yeah, we have print tuning, input shaper, configuring input shaper, and that's going to be probably the same as I did on the rat rig. I don't know where I'd mount an accelerometer on this, but we'll figure it out. But I don't know. This print is looking really good. Really good. Okay, where's my filament? My filament is, I can hear it. My filament is all tangled. So hang on a second here. There we go. I have to kind of, oh man, that must have unspooled itself. Okay, I'm glad I kind of heard that. I have to unspool a bunch here. There we go. Oh, is it ever tangled? Oh. I'm going to just leave this loose on the side. You can see on the top camera. I'm just going to leave this loose on the side here. And once this is done, I'm going to snip and sacrifice a few meters so I don't have to bother untangling it. There we go. This print is looking great though for a first print. You take out one of the front 3 screws by the fan. Use some 5mm longer temporary to hold them out. Oh, okay. And I believe, oh hey Llama, raid. Did I just get raided? Where's my Twitch window? Who raided me? You raided me, Llama. Thank you so much. I appreciate the raid. Wow, welcome raiders. You're witnessing the very first print on the Voron 0.1 build that I just kind of have been spending the last several weeks, well, 3-4 weeks building. And it didn't take that long to build totally because I was only building live. So, well, thank you so much. Wow. I got to pay attention to the stream more. I appreciate it. Thanks again, Llama, for the raid. Much appreciated. Did it raid over? All caps. Yeah, I did raid over. We have 39 folks now. We have 9 on the Twitches and 29. Oh, we just lost 38. 29 on YouTube and 9 on Twitch. So I'm just going to have a quick peek while this is running. And I think my local supplier, let me see, and he's a really 3DLabTech.com.ca local guy. Ships parts everywhere, and he always has a lot of stuff in stock. Let's see if he has an ADXL 341. Nope. Let's see if he has an ADXL. Thought he had some in stock. Oh, there they are. ADXL 345. Well, duh. Not a 341. $5.45, and he has in stock. So there we go. Yes. Hang on 1 second. Okay, I've got to run upstairs for a few seconds. We have a little emergency meltdown going on, but I'll leave this print going, let you guys keep watching this, and I'll be back in a shake. But yeah, I can get the ADXL 345 locally for $5.45. Perfect. That's what I'll do. So I'll be right back, guys. I'll grab a drink while I'm up there. I'm very thirsty, so enjoy this printing while I'm gone, and I'll even throw on a little bit of no, I won't throw on any music. You drilled yours out for the 3mm screw and it worked fine. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'll be right back. Give me like 2 minutes. Okie doke. Disaster averted. The ADXL 2.5. Yeah, we already read that. Cool. I'll just add that to my cart and we'll bring one of them in. I've got lots of wire, and I'll just have to find a pinout guide for the board, or would I plug that into the Raspberry Pi? No, I think that goes into the main board. Let's see. Let me Google Voron 0.1 ADXL 345. We have brackets for the ADL 345 for the Voron 0. Let's see what the bracket looks like. I'm okay with that. A little bracket that goes right on the front. Okay, lots of little people already designed the brackets for it. That is not a big deal. That's cool because we want that thing to be horizontal, I believe. But I want the pinout for it for the board, for the big Tree Tech board I'm running. I'll find that. Yeah. Plugs into the Pi. Okay. Hey, Andrew Osmond, we are at the stage of doing our very first test print, which is a Voron Cube, which is printing really well so far. I can see a little bit of ghosting happening, I think, but we have not tuned anything on it yet, so we're just doing a test print. Plugs into the Pi. Okay, cool. When you do it, only one screw is needed to hold it, and ignore any silk screening on it for XYZ direction. Right. Cool. Okay, ADXL 345 pinout for Pi 4. Raspberry Pi accelerometer using the ADXL 345 for Pi 4. There's my images right there. Oh, that's not the one I want. Do. There we go, right from the Clipper documentation itself. There we go, right. I believe this is the one I'm looking for. Right there. There's the ADXL 345. That's a different accelerometer. And there's the pinout for the Pi board right there. Looks pretty simple. Looks simple enough. We have the 3-volt input. We have the ground. We have the SDO, SDA, SCL, and we have the CS. There is my guide right there. And I have plenty of wire for it. Plenty of wire. You have Mini connected to an RP2040 works fine and portable. Cool. I mounted the one on my rat rig permanently just because. I should run it again one of these days. I think I did run it when I moved it to its new location, but yeah. It seems to be printing fine right now. Now, I can always speed this up, I suppose. It's looking good. No, I'll just leave it running like this. It looks like it bridged really well there. So, yeah. Nice filament, though, too. And we're not tangled. I can't believe how tangled this filament got. That's crazy. Crazy. I should just cut it right off right now, but my luck, it won't be enough filament to finish the job if I cut it. I'll let it go for now and just manually unwind it as I need to. And I'll figure out that spool holder. I can't raise it anymore. I'll figure out what to do with it. Don't use a long wire. No. Good solder joints and connections are needed as it is real sensitive also for wire length. Yeah. I found on the rat rig's a fairly long run of wire for it. It has to be for the for the size of the cable loom on it, but for the length where it's going to reach to. But it's working fine. And I did find, yeah, it's very, very sensitive because I had to. Actually, I think the first accelerometer I had purchased for it was bad, and I had to get a second accelerometer, and then it worked because I thought it was my wiring, and I switched the wiring 3 or 4 times. Finally, switched accelerometers, and it was fine. So on a 350 V2, it gets tough. Okay. This is great. I've got to think of some little things that'll print quickly on this so that I can, do print after print at the Maker Faire I'm going to, and this thing's going to be running at the Maker Faire. Which reminds me, I've got to look up that little pocket router that everybody's been talking about that'll help me. Oops. Sorry, hit the wrong button on my Stream Deck. I'm going to look up that little pocket router. Let me look up that pocket router on Amazon and see what they have. So I can run this on my laptop at the Maker Faire. There we go, Amazon. And pocket router. There we are. No. Mini portable travel router. Let's see, $37, $38. Portable mini travelers wire pocket router. Wi-Fi router access point extender, WDS. Oh, there's so many, but I'm going to look on Amazon.com. These seem expensive. I like to support the U.S. economy when Amazon Canada rips me off. No, they're not that. There's one. GLINet, portable mini travel wireless pocket router, Wi-Fi router access, point extender, yada yada. That's one thing I've got to figure out is getting this thing printing on my laptop before I get to the show and scramble to figure out why it's not printing. So I got to test that. I got a few weeks before the show to test it. Now, unplug home on your 300. I had to keep shortening it, and then it was the length it worked, so I was short and couldn't home it. I'd unplug home, replug it in. Okay. Would make a portable AP using Raspberry Pi. Oh, I don't know enough about that stuff. I'm so green when it comes to all that stuff. I'm going to look into this. Yeah, it looks like about $35 to get a pocket router. Actually, this one is compatible with the US pricing. Actually, a lot of stuff I look at is not. A lot of stuff it's less expensive for me to pay US dollars and have it shipped from the US on Amazon.com. These seem to be reasonable here. Is that a router in your pocket, or are you happy to see Wi-Fi? Well, yes. Yes and yes. There's a pocket router with a USB input, power port, USB input, two Ethernet ports, USB 2, mode switch. Gosh, I'm going to be getting help with this because I don't understand. It talks about VPN, PIA, Nord, Sharkfish, Pure VPN, TorGuard, Pete VPN. I know VPN is virtual private network, but what the heck do I need a virtual private network for? Okay. Micro USB port and a USB port. Okay. All I want is for my laptop. All I want is for my laptop to talk to the Voron at the show when I'm away from my home internet. That's all I want. Down to 30 folks watching. Awesome. Looks like we've got to zoom out here a little bit. There we go. Yeah. That's kind of the way I am, Zenbender. Yeah, when I look up Pocket Router, I mean, I think this is the right one, but I have no idea what I would then do. See, right now, I get onto my internet and I go to my 10.0.0.118 to hook up to the Voron, because that's what's programmed in the Pi. Well, why couldn't I just do that from my laptop anywhere? Does it have to be on my home network? I guess it does, because that's an internal network. Yeah. Anyways, I just don't want to get to the show and have to panic and start configuring stuff on the Pi and all that. I'd rather have that all set up at home, so I get there and it's good. All the other printers I'm bringing, I'll just use the slicer on the laptop and transfer it by micro SD card, or SD card. But I don't have an SD card slot on my Voron, so let me just run my quick little ad, and I want to thank again Sparta 3D here in Calgary, or here in Canada, Sparta 3D and LDO Motors for sponsoring this build of the Voron V0, and I want to really thank as well Avanich 3D Lab Tech for providing me with the ABS for doing this build. Really, really appreciate the sponsorship and the help from this, so that's great. Thank you guys. But yeah, the LDO kit was complete. I have, and it kind of it's kind of funny, because I have a lot of leftover screws, a lot of leftover nuts, screws, or bolts and nuts, washers, heat sinks, a lot of leftover parts. So they did not short on parts at all. So before you leave setup, the pocket router was similar network IP addressing as your home network. Before I leave, set up the pocket router with similar network IP addressing as your home network. Log each of the printers onto the new Wi-Fi network. Go to show. Oh, okay, it's that simple, is it? Okay. Fix IP and all set. Yeah, okay. And the VPN is so that anyone can't mess with your printer from the outside. Okay, a virtual private network. Makes sense. I probably have VPNs on my business computers and network and stuff. I just don't know what they are. That's all right. Can only know so much in a lifetime, right? There's so much to learn. Oh. I can learn all about Clipper, or I can learn about VPNs and networking, and I don't know. I'd rather learn more about Clipper and let the networking fall where it will. But this is probably fine as a pocket router then. Portable travel router, mobile hotspot, in pocket. Wi-Fi repeater bridge, range extender, open VPN client, 300 megabits per second, high performance, 128 megabytes RAM. And it has 6,985 ratings. And it is, let's see, of all those ratings, 63% 5-star ratings, which isn't bad. All it has to do is send G code to a printer. So that should work, and it's nice. It's yellow. And I'm not going to spend $10 on a 2-year plan on a $30 router. Are you kidding me? 30%? No. No, 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 no. You won't have troubles. Looks like everyone here are all ready to help when you need. Absolutely, Will, they are. VPN hides your prawn from your ISP. So it hides, from my internet service provider. I get it. That's funny. And there's another one, $144 for a pocket router. Yeah, I was born at night, but not last night, people. Some of the prices you see on Amazon, it's like, how can anybody think for one moment that somebody is going to buy that product for that price? There are naive people in this world, but come on. And that looks like the one to get. The GL.iNet GLM3MT300N. Yellow and black. The black one is not available till May, and the yellow one is available for next day delivery. Well, then I think I can settle for yellow. Naive? Me? Hey, Mike. No. Yellow so you don't forget it in the hotel room. True. Yes. A bright, obnoxious color. Yeah, it's about that color right there. So, yeah. Cube looking good. Little bulging in the front left corner, but pressure advanced tuning will sharpen that right up. Yeah. Little bit of bulging happening. It is looking good here. Let's get down. Here, let's see if I can bring you guys a little closer. Whoa, sorry. Whoa, come on, come on. Okay, camera, settle down. There we go. Oh, look at that. You don't want to see the print head. I can get you closer. Here. There we go. Yeah, a little bit of bulging in that left corner. You can see it. There we go. We'll do a pressure advance tune on this like we did on the rat rig. But for the most part, boy, it's looking really sharp. If it washes your back in the shower, pay the $140. Yeah, there you go. I agree with that. And we are, according to Clipper, 78% of the way done. Perfect. And look at that heat map. I mean, man, that heat is saying steady right across the board. I mean, incredible. Mind you, with a bed this small too, it's pretty simple, I would think, to keep the temperature consistent on it. And ETA 1944, I think that's a little bit exaggerated. See, this is what I estimate: 1132, 744 slicer. Oh, I kind of see how this is working. And I'm looking, the speed is popping up to 100 maximum. I could bump this, but I want to see how this turns out. So, very cool. Next thing I need to do is come up with a camera for it. Put a little camera on it. Does Clipper have power recovery? Good question. Good question. All you Clipper guys out there, does Clipper have power recovery? I don't know. Let me see what the Google says in case somebody else in chat doesn't know. I don't see anything about it. Power off recovery implementation. Looks like people were working on it back in 2019. Yeah, I don't think it does. Huh. What was the yellow thing that you purchased? Oh, I haven't got it yet, but it's a pocket router so that I can run the Voron V0 so I can run it at a trade show because I'll be out of my home network. So I need to have a portable network in order to send my files over to it. If it does, that is causing the bulge. Huh? This bulge is just because it's not tuned. That's a pressure advance issue. This bulge in the corner here. There's one on this side too, a little bit as well. That's my Z seam. I don't know where my Z seam would be on this. Oops, my filament's getting a bit messed up here. Okay, we have a spot there where my filament was messed up, so that infill is really messed up. I need to spool some of this. I'm going to cut this. And hope I left enough on here. I don't know how this got so tangled. Let's see. That's why that infill was missing. Yeah, I got a bit of a screwed up layer there you're going to see happening. That's because my filament got jammed here. Nothing to do with the printer. That's all me. Wow, is it ever tangled? Okay. Yeah, that's right there. You can see my filament. Yeah, I had a filament issue. Okay. I wasn't paying attention. This is crazy tangled. Well, we're going to fix it. Dang, I wanted a perfect cube too. I'll have to do another one. Disappointing. Shoot. I'm disappointed that happened. I wasn't paying attention. It's not going to finish well. You've seen worse? Oh, weird. Yeah, no, this problem right here is just strictly a tangled filament issue. Some reason the part of that roll, I obviously had let it go and it didn't recover very well when I put it back in. I've almost got it licked here. The rest of the print should go fine, but that is definitely an insult to the Voron cube. Oh, now I'm really in a mess here. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. Whatever. Whatever. Keep feeding. Keep feeding. And I'll keep a better eye on it. Dang. Huh. No, it's not a clog. Not at all. The there was a tangle in the filament, and it was wrapped around the spool holder, and the filament wasn't coming through, so it was starving, basically starving the filament. Nothing to do with a clog. Oh gosh, I don't want a clog on this thing. If I had to take that mini afterburner apart to clear a clog, I think I'd pull what's left of my hair out. I know I have missing layers, Brendan. Because my filament was being impeded. My filament path. First reminds me of the decap sample file that came with the original CR10. Oh, too funny. Need to try some Sparta 3D ABS Plus and keep hearing great things. So do I. Yeah. Yeah. Supposedly the Sparta 3D PLA or ABS Plus is amazing. So, hey, hello, Focus Tech. Hey, Dora. You're watching the first print on the Voron V0. Ignore this right here. Ignore that. That was my fault. I wasn't paying attention. I'm using a tangled piece of filament, and it jammed, and I didn't catch it. I was too busy chatting and watching chat. So that's why it skipped the layers. Nothing to do with the hot end or anything. It's running perfectly. I'm the one that's not running perfectly. Just getting it all tuned up to bring to the Calgary Maker Faire in a few weeks. And apparently we're expecting up to 10,000 people through this Maker Faire on that weekend. So, oh, there, my filament's all untangled now. There it is, all untangled. But it's too late. It's already wrecked my print. I think what I'll do, we're on the top layers. I think what I'll do when this is done is I'll print a quick DeWitt cube. Because the DeWitt cube is only like 18 minutes. It's a small cube. You can get it cheaper shipped that way. Canadians pay. Yeah, there you go. That's a design feature, not a filament tangle. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a design feature. The cube is meant to look this crappy. Well, we're on the top few layers. Then I'll do a DeWitt cube. A DeWitt cube's a little quicker. I just want a finished nice cube as a first print. And then what we'll do is we'll do some tuning on it over the next little while. Some pressure advance, et cetera, et cetera. I think this is the last layer because it's going nice and slow. You got a spool break in two and made it unusable. Tried to re-spool, not good. No. Print a Mandalorian helmet. Okay. For a dog or for a mouse, I could do that. This is probably the last layer right here. And we'll have a look at it, and then I'll print another cube real quick. let's get this little camera ready. Yeah, that is the last one. There we go. Done. Whew. So cute. Let's put the bed back on. Okay. Other than the dumb, stupid layer shift that happened last second, let's have a look at this. Are we going to focus? Is this thing going to work? Do I have to manual focus this? There we go. So there's our bottom. There's the bridging inside, which looks really good. Yeah, so we do have some fat corners that can be fixed. But boy, you know, for a first print, a little bit of ghosting. Well, if I turn it over so it's easier to see the right way up, it's probably better. V0 and Ender 2 or KP3 be side by side. Oh, that's a great idea, Will. That's a really good idea. I could bring the Ender 2. I've got both the Ender 2 and the KP3. That's a great idea. But look at that. That's decent for a very first print off this thing. Again, other than the dumb layer shift. So again, there's the bottom layer. Could be a little more squish on that. Just a little more. And then the top. Nice clean top layer on that too. It's beautiful filament, actually. Yeah, this, I'm super happy with this. So, yeah. Okay. Nice Voron logo. So, yeah, so once I get some tuning going on here, it's going to go pretty good. So, let's do one more print. Okay. You've made purchases from 3D Printing Canada. And with the exchange rate, it was like I was getting parts in black. On a black. Oh, cool. That's good. Yeah. If you shift the Z down for the first layer, you can now click save in the console to keep that setting. Oh, very cool. Okay. I'm going to shift it down a little bit more. Let's start this next print and see. I may shift it down just a little bit. I don't know if yeah, I did offset it by 0.02, which is very, so if I hit save on that, okay, save config. Let's do it. We're going to restart, which is fine. And I may shift it once more. So let's heat this up again. And let's slice another model here real quick. So let's pop over here. Let's minimize this. Okay. I want to reprint this one, so we'll probably reprint that after. But for now, we'll do a quicker one. And I believe, where's my DeWitt cube? Right here. Just a simple cube with my name on it right there. I'll use the exact same settings, and this is going to be a 18 minutes. Let's see if that is true. So let's export the G code, DeWitt cube. It's a smaller cube, obviously. And G code files. There it is right there, and we will print. We will start the print. Gonna get the snots off of there. Yeah, $200 versus a $900 printer. Yeah. There we go. So let me lower, go down by 0.2 again. I think that'll be a nice, well, I got a little bit of snot there on the first layer. That's all right. A little booger in the middle of the bed there. It's going too fast for me to even attempt to remove it. That's okay. It'll smooth itself out. The V0 is far from 900. We'll easily get to 1,200 Canadian. Well, you can get the V0 in Canada for $895. The LDO kit, $895, 900, something like that. You were trying to be kind. It helps to let the heat sock soak up. Heat bed soak some even for PLA and thermistor reeds must mat bed. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, yeah. Because the bed is so thick. Yeah. I didn't give it much of a chance to cool down there. Okay, this one should only take 18 minutes, so, and that'll be perfect timing for my stream tonight. Awesome. What? Oh, there. See, I can peel the I could peel the top off that cube because of the little issue I had with the filament, and I should have plenty of filament there for my Dwight cube. But yeah, other than that little error I made on this thing, it printed nice. For a first print, that's nicer than the first print I got off my rat rig, I must say. Yeah, we have a little fat around the corners and a tiny bit of ghosting, but yeah, that won't take a whole lot of tuning to fix that. Love this little printer. This is awesome. Plus tax, printed parts. Oh, right, okay. Printed parts. That's good point. I would say that I use probably less than 1 kilogram to print my parts, plus shipping, right? You've got to include shipping. So yeah, you got a good point there, Will. Yeah. But I would say the printed parts, if you do them yourself, you're paying for a roll of ABS. The rolls of ABS here, my local guy that I got with this was 3D Fuel ABS. Printed beautifully, and it was $40 for a roll of ABS. Whoa! So, but you're going to print it in 2 colors, and you may do part of it in PETG as well, because the whole thing doesn't have to be ABS. I just chose to do that because it was printing so well. So yeah, you're looking at another $40 plus your time for printed parts. So, and I know there's places out there you can buy the printed parts. But you can see right through this cube. I've got to print another one of those though for sure. Now that I got my filament straightened out. ABS, yuck! Come on. It printed beautiful on my. I've got to try it on this, but all my parts were printed on my Flashforge Creator 3, which is an enclosed printer, and it just like butter, like hot butter. It just laid down so smooth. So yeah. Did I find my extruder calibration tool? No. Well, this little Dwight cube is printing. Let me look for it. Let me have a quick look. It's just a plastic measuring device I made. Let me look real quick here. Oh, let's see. Where would I put a tool if I was a tool putter? I wonder if it fell behind my bench. Let me start another print on the Prusa here while I'm here. There we go. Okay. Dang. I don't know where that sucker stupid thing is. It's annoying me. I can show you. I'll show you what it is. I've got the model here. Hang on one sec. Yeah, I put it somewhere, and I don't know. I'm going to print a bunch more. I'm going to print a few more. You have a pet and sensitive wife and kid. No ABS ever. Ah, okay. My Flash Forge has some good ventilation filtering on it and everything, so it's not so bad. Pay it forward program to consider too if you are not capable of printing them. Okay. You bought which model? They stole it with my screwdriver. Yeah, I found my screwdriver, by the way. Remember what I said, that when I'm done and I'm not, it was right in front of me. It was right in front of me, charging on my power bar right here, literally. I was staring at it and I couldn't find it because in my mind, I put it somewhere different. In my mind, I didn't put it right there. So I was like, where could it be? So, yeah, so I want to show, Brant that tool I was talking about. Oh, my hot end model from. Oh, thanks so much, Mike. I appreciate that. Speaking of hot end models, I'll look for Brant. I'll get to that in a second. This is my first test print of this one, but this is my first hot end model of the V6, of the E3D V6. But I've got a little bit of work to do on it. But this is my break apart E3D V6 model. There's the heat break, yada yada yada. But this needs a lot of work yet. That was just my first test print. So that's coming down the pipe too. I just have to do some tweaks in the Fusion 360 model for that. So that was a fun design as well. Appreciate that, Mike, very much. Lose something else and the tool will show up. I know, right? Like, it's going to be right in front of me somewhere when I'm done the stream. You watch. But anyways, I'm gonna show you the tool that I made, and it was very simple make. You did Zen. Yeah, I've got before this model goes up, I'm going to be putting up the all metal micro Swiss one that I did too. It's going to go up this week sometime. You hide things in plain sight all the time. Yeah, don't we all? I mean, come on, it's crazy. So let me get the, this is nice because I'm going to open my drawing and show you, and then I can also show off my cordless space mouse. Space mouse! Document recovery, no. So where did I put it? It's a very simple tool. Is it not in here? Where did I model it? Don't tell me I modeled it. Yeah, I did model it in here. Where's my file? Huh. It's not here. Don't tell me I didn't save it. Of course I would have saved it. Let me see if it's in, if I saved it in another place here. No. Huh. I'll have to redesign it, redo it. I'm sure I have the STL file somewhere. Wow. Default project, no. My admin project folder, no. Okay, well, that's no big deal. So I can't find it in Fusion 360. So I obviously didn't save it, or something happened to it. Let's close that, and let's see if while this is printing, if I can find, my file is Mr. Park. You're still missing your 105 gig SSD with USB adapter from over a year ago. Wow. Yeah. And Dominic, you're so right. I've done that several times in my life. I've lost something, bought a replacement, found it. So the Space Mouse is the corded one. Takes some time. Yeah, it does. I'm getting used to it slowly. I have the corded one at the office. And Printer Prawn, you once looked for a USB drive for 2 weeks, tore your place apart, and then when you finally convinced yourself it was gone. That is so true. That is so true. So let me look at my STL files folder. Couch bracket, couch bracket. No, those are brackets I made for the couches upstairs so they wouldn't push into the walls. Wow, I bet I lost that file. Unless it's on my desk at my office. It's probably on my desk at my office. I just can't. I just surprised I can't find it in. No. Surprised I can't find it in my Fusion 360 library, because I did it in Fusion 360 not long ago. Well, what, a month or two ago. But basically, what it is, it's just it's a plastic with a groove in it for the filament, so you can push the filament in the groove, and it's got every 5 millimeters, it's got a tick, and at 100 millimeter and 120 millimeter, it's got a little wider tick, so you can put a marker in there and mark your filament at those things. And it just makes it a little easier than having to use a ruler. Hello, Mark. Amazon is easier than looking for something. Yes, it is. Believe me, I know that. This cube's looking good too, and it's not going to tangle the filament, and it should be finished. But I'm going to reprint that Voron cube before I go to sleep, because it deserves to be printed properly instead of being decapitated like it was. That's just like, ah. But I want to, even though it's not perfect, it needs tuning. I want to have a first printed Voron cube off this thing so I can just have it. So I'm going to be bringing my, anybody local, if you're going to the Maker Faire, I'm going to be bringing along a couple of the droid builds I did way back when. The droid that lifts the cans. I don't know if a lot of you guys saw that or not. That's the one you wanted Nerdy J to use. Yes, exactly, Old Curmudgeon. That is the one. Because it's so much easier. And especially when he was showing it, it's an ideal situation for that. But let me show you guys what I'm bringing to the Maker Faire. It's pretty cool. I don't think all of you have seen the droids that we did. That was myself, Jason, Jerry, Marcel, and Sam Prentice in the droid build thing. Let me find it. I gotta bring it down anyways. So this guy, let me switch the camera here. So this guy's coming to the Maker Faire. Whoa. He's got kind of his guts all hanging out here right now. Oh no, these aren't his guts. His guts are all inside. But this is one of the droids that we did during the droid series. This is the drink droid. So what happens, it's dusty, is there's a servo there, but it'll open up and it'll pop up a couple cans. And yeah, so I'm going to bring this guy, have him running. So this was a really, really fun project to do. So this is what I'm going to bring and actually have it running and working and driving, etc. There we go. And possibly this other guy up here, I may bring him and have him running as well, or maybe just for show, because his head turns, the lights come on, and everything like that works on it as well. But they're going to be kind of neat to bring to the show and say, hey, these are the type of things you can do with 3D printing. 3D printing and a little bit of electronics. So, and of course, the dragon is coming. The articulated dragon, the big one, he's coming to the show. He's going to be the official mascot. No, he's not. But he is coming to the show. You still don't agree with E-steps through the nozzle. That's interesting too, OC, because I have heard arguments for both ways. Because I look at it like this. I look at, how do I explain this? The kind of way I'm looking at it. If you have a 0.4 millimeter nozzle and you're pushing 100 millimeters of filament through a hot nozzle, what are you trying to measure? You're trying to measure the extruder push, or the feeder pushing 100 millimeter length of plastic, or do you want 100 millimeters of plastic melted coming through your nozzle? because if you have a 0.8 nozzle, so if you change it to a 0.8 nozzle, you have to recalibrate your E-steps because a 0.8 nozzle is going to have twice the flow rate of a 0.4. Yeah, and a Zen bender there. Tune in the position, tune in the condition the printer is going to operate. So yeah, I would think if I switched it to a 0.8 nozzle, in your philosophy, okay, if the extruder itself is pushing 100 millimeters, doesn't matter what nozzle you have on there, that's going to be controlled by flow rate, possibly. Because, yeah, as I say, a 1 millimeter nozzle is going to have a heck of a bigger flow rate than a 0.4 millimeter nozzle. So it's going to push. That's something that can be debated, I think, all day long. You take up all the difference in the slicer. The extruder pushing X millimeters of filament is what you care. Yeah. Yeah. What else was I going to say on that? But yeah, as Zenbender says there, that's true. I mean, if I'm going to run this with a 0.4 millimeter nozzle all the time, tune it to what's on there, and it should be fine if it's pushing the right amount through. And then you can always calibrate or adjust the flow rate as you go. But looks like we're almost on the cube. Then there's the 1.8 nozzle and the 1.75 filament. Yeah, I have a 1.8 CHT nozzle. 1.8 nozzle doesn't make sense for a 1.75 filament, does it? But the CHT nozzle kind of splits it up, and it actually works. Okay, we're going to get ready to have a look at this cube, and then we are going to call it. Don't get too bogged down in the ultra accuracy. Yeah, this technology is not capable of the repeatable accuracy that people are hoping for. No, exactly. Exactly. I'd be curious to do an E-step calibration with the nozzle on, then take it off and do an E-step calibration without the hot nozzle in the way, and just see if there is much of a difference. There we go. I think we're done. I think this is the last top layer. You always have to adjust your design to meet the tolerances of your individual printer. True. You tune the slicer multiplier for the post-extruder conditions. E-steps to get all your printers extruding the same 100 millimeters. Flow rate or extrusion multipliers for variances between filaments, brands, colors, types. Yeah. Pokemon and Dragon prints don't care about accuracy. True. Very true. Most parts that people print don't need that dead-on accuracy. I mean, most prints you could print wouldn't even care about these little fat corners. To be honest, I mean, that's just a fussy thing that I want to tune. So here we go. Here we go. The Dwight cube. Okay. And let's put that back on there. And just because before it cools down too much, I'm going to quickly start up that Voron cube again. No, I'm not. I won't have enough filament there. Or will I? I don't know. I'll change the filament out after and do another one. But here we go. So this looks pretty decent. So let's get on the close-up camera. Can I focus? I think we're focused. So there's the bottom layer. That was that little hunk that fell off the hot end as it was going. So the bottom looks good. Again, the corners are a little bulgy, but that's going to be fixed with pressure advance. Oops. And a little bit of ghosting, but not too bad. Otherwise, it's a nice, clean print. And the top, bottom, and then we got the top. Beautiful filament, though. Quite happy with that. Fat corner cubes make 3D printing world go around. Fat corner cubes, you make my 3D world go round. You're gonna calibrate tonight. You're gonna pressure advance. You might. Stop it, Tim. Nobody wants to hear you sing that crap. Anyways, okay, guys. Well, we witnessed a couple first prints off this guy. So we have the broken Voron cube. Unfortunately, I'm going to print another one right now, and then my DeWitt cube, which is, I need to spice that up a little bit. That's a boring DeWitt cube. So I like the oh, I'm just having a brain fart here. Nero. I like Nero's cube that somebody designed for him. It's pretty cool. It's a Voron Nero cube. So anyways, that's good. So I want to thank everybody for sticking with me and witnessing the first print off of this guy. And now I can go ahead and apply for the license. So it's been pretty good. So thank you, guys. That's another Doing It with DeWitt stream under my belt. I'm done. So this little guy prints good. The build was beautiful, was fun. The LDO kit was incredible. It was an incredible kit. There's lots of spare parts. So we're good. Going to get my official serial number now. Yes. Going to apply for that. I'm going to film a little bit of the next cube. I'll just film it on my camera so that I don't have to go through and edit this whole YouTube video thing. And I'll send that little clip in of it printing, and I'll send a picture of it in, and we should be good. The license, I don't know, bragging rights, that's about it. I do also have a little, whoops, I got to figure out where to put this, but with the LDO kit, you get, let me just find it in here. LDO sends this little plaque with it as well. So it's a nice etched metal plaque. So if I go on to here, so it's a nice metal etched plaque with the LDO Voron 0 kit. It's got the LDO and the Voron logos over on this side. It's got the kit number. I'm sure that, unless that's a serial number, I doubt it. But then it's a nice engraved metal plaque that I can put on there as well. It's metal, so it's really nice. Nice little touch. So there's that, and there's the Voron design sticker, and then of course I got an LDO motor sticker and a Sparta 3D because it was sponsored by LDO and Sparta. So we'll get that. We'll apply for the serial number. I don't think that gets you nothing other than the fact that you've basically built a Voron. So you can make those on your laser. You can. You have to get the license number branded on your. I've got my professional diving number tattooed on my arm with a tattoo. I could get my Voron number tattooed on my arm as well. Hey, Voron logo with my serial number. No. Well, you never know what people will do. Now let people know as someone leaked out it, but getting a serial number gets you into a special Voron Owners Club channels on the Voron Discord. Oh, very cool. And, bragging rights. Like, what the heck, kind of shows that you know what you're doing a little bit if you're able to build one of these things. I guess, especially this little guy, it was a complicated, at some points frustrating, but very rewarding build. Almost as rewarding, if not a little bit more rewarding than the rat rig, because it was a little harder because of the small pieces, especially the mini afterburner hot end. It was a patience tester for sure. That hot end was, but we got through it. Sell them on Etsy for the Ender 3 Dragon makers. There you go. Oh, Miller 3D Designs, thank you so much for the subscription over on Twitch. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate it. So, okay, guys. Well, it's past my quit time here, so we are going to call it a night. And we will do some more work on this through the week, and probably next week I'll show off some other printing and samples that I've done on it. But I want to do the pressure advance and do some more fine tuning as recommended by the Voron manual. So we'll work on that. I'll get an accelerometer so that we can do the input shaping, and yeah, I'll get it all set. I'll get myself that pocket router and try and get this running off my laptop so that I can do it have it show ready. So, but I love the idea to bring this and put it beside a $200 printer as a comparison. So you have a homemade built versus a purchased built one. And that's a great idea. So thank you, everybody. I really appreciate all your input, your kind words and everything. And it's been a fun ride, but we'll play more with this next week because it's the coolest thing. It's a cool little printer. So yeah, you need to verify your spreadsheet for tuning tower is working correctly. There you go. Awesome. Okay, folks, still cannot discuss what is in those channels, as what happens in Fight Club stays in Fight Club. There you go. Okay, listen, we're going to close it off for now, but we'll catch everybody. Everybody have a wonderful week. And I want to thank everybody involved in helping me with this build. And I'm sure there's going to be some more questions going forward, so stay tuned for that. And we'll come back next week and do a little bit more fiddling around and hopefully have some really nice prints going. And maybe we'll even fire up some ABS next week and see how well we do on ABS on this thing, because that's basically what it should excel at. So, okay, we'll catch everybody a little bit later. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Good night for now. Bye.